The Heist is a new TV series on Sky One in the UK. It is very similar to Hunted, that has been on Channel 4 for a number of years, where you have members of the public and some celebrities go on the run from the authorities and have to elude capture for a couple of weeks before making it to a final destination. The Heist sort of twists this a little bit by having them first commit a armoured car robbery and then have to split up the money and get away with laundering it and also maintaining their sort of anonymity and hiding in plain view. I think it's better than Hunted. I'm sure it shares a number of production staff, if not the same company, because it's just too close not to be. The reason I like it better than Hunted is because Hunted feels like it's overproduced. And it feels as though every time someone might be going to ground too well, I feel like a member of the production staff is probably feeding the Hunter team some information and saying, look, they're here, just send your people to this area, because otherwise you just go camping in a field and no one would find you. Furthermore, the rules for Hunted aren't particularly well defined. It would be better if they just said, these are the real clear rules, this is what you can and can't do and who you can and can't contact. Because some of the moves they make just seem a bit strange. In the Heist, there's still obviously problems where you haven't got clearly defined rules, because they've got this money and they're told they can spend some of it, but I never got the feeling that they actually should be spending any of it, or why would they even do it? I wasn't sure if it was a matter of, if you've got this £25,000 that you've got to sort of look after for a week and then get laundered, if you spend any of it and then you get caught, do you keep what you spent it on? Because if that's the case, I just go rinse it on a car or spend 25 grand straight away, get caught, and I've still got 25 grand's worth of kit. And you had these people buying like disabled bikes for their kids and stuff like that at thousands of pounds a toss, and then they got caught. So you think, well, what, they're going to go and take a bike off this little disabled kid because he got caught? Not really sure how it worked out, so it wasn't really clear, so you couldn't invest yourself in it. But that said, where the Heist is better than Hunted is that you've got more of an insight into sort of the police work that goes on with it. You get to see how they're actually shaking down witnesses, knocking on doors, working things out. You felt like you saw more of the cogs turning, whereas in Hunted they just seem to go, oh, we've got a number plate match, let's go get them, oh, we found them. Whereas in the Heist you are given the belief, at least, that they are working things out, they are hitting roadblocks, and you can see sort of how they pull at one thread and that unravels the rest of it. Biggest problem with the show though is still the fact that you're not 100% on what the rules are, and you feel like the people involved in it are either very thick to some extent, because someone just goes and starts spending money straight away when all they've got to do is sit on it and go about their normal life for 2 weeks, or they're being prompted by either production staff or directors of the show to go and spend money or to go and sort of make moves to do things, because they start like taunting the police by having paying like ice cream vans to turn up for free and giving shops free money to give away cakes and that on their behalf, and it just sort of feels as though someone's prompting them to do that. When if you were really trying to hide yourself and keep yourself on the down low, you just wouldn't do it, because those were all methods that allowed the police to track them back in the end. And yeah, it just seemed a little bit strange that people would engage in that. I just keep my head down and hide the money somewhere and just forget about it. But again, it's interesting when you see the teams go in and they sort of rip apart this family's house, like going through all their cookers and everything to find the money. Is it worth watching? Yes, it's available on Sky One as a box set to download and watch, so you don't have to wait every week for it. And I did find it quite compelling. It's one of those shows where I was watching the first couple of episodes and I thought, that's a bit rubbish. And then you do find yourself wanting to just find out what happens next. And it's not too long, it's only 6 episodes. So if you like crime things and you like shouting at the telly and telling people why the hell do you do that, I'd have done it differently, this is certainly worth watching, and it's certainly a nice improvement or evolution on the sort of Manhunter show format that I think is getting a bit stale and old now with Hunted.